to your ship, the Stormy Jack, and decided you snuck onto another ship that apparently is a pirate ship, or possibly very friendly with pirates, and discovered a map. After consulting the map on board your ship, you decided to go to the location that's marked with a $sign. Once getting there, which took you just over a day, uh, you found kind of old at this point, a semi-abandoned but visible trail. It looks like nobody's been there in about a month. To a base camp, and then eventually to ruins of some old city. Um, Starting to traverse the ruins, it started getting a little late in the day, and you guys decided to make your own camp inside one of the old buildings, if I recall right. Now, did we end on you guys going to sleep, or you guys waking up for the morning? I can't remember exactly. Does anyone remember?
I think we got through the night.
Okay. I was just checking because I think I marked it off on my days past thing, because I like to keep track of how many days usually, but I wasn't absolutely sure.
I think so. I see perception rolls in the chat.
All right. Yeah. About the only thing anybody heard during the night was a distant sound of, but it was off in the distance somewhere. Didn't sound like it was coming anywhere near.
Well, that's not creepy.
Roll a nature check if you wish to identify the sound.
I would love to try. Although I think it's the goblins, because we mentioned seeing the light in them.
Yeah, that was when you guys were up on top of the thing.
Rip.
You noticed the light off in the distance, well away from the ruins. This sound, whoever was on watch for six, that must have been Lodpu and Topaz probably, given their perception rolls, probably would have heard the sound coming more towards the east and north, kind of deeper into the ruins, maybe somewhere past that pyramid structure. It's kind of echoing across the buildings, but it was kind of nearer to. It'd have been kind of early-ish in the morning, almost not quite dawn yet, but early.
Since I heard it, could I go to someone who like probably has the best survival, describe it to them, and kind of help them on a roll?
Sure. Who do you wish to do that to?
Dovin, did you already roll for that? Was that nature?
If you're helping them on a roll, that I can give you advantage on that.
Sure.
Which means Dovin gets to roll again.
Oh, another nature.
Yep.
Even worse.
No, poor Dovin is clueless on what made that sound.
It's early. What?
And I thought you were a nature guy. You can't wake someone up out of a dead sleep and describe a weird noise you heard to them in the night, and they just instantly know what animal made it anymore. Jeez, get yourself together.
I'm sorry.
All right. Warning comes. Nothing has disturbed your camp. Nothing has come to the building, and nothing seemed to have gotten close in the night. What would you guys like to do today?
I think Lobu's up before everybody, which is not super common, and is like, y'all get ready to get that loot today? It's time for us to get a lot of money.
First question, of course, since you're nowhere near water, what are you guys eating for breakfast?
Fish.
I can make a batch of good berries.
I also have some rations if we wanted to split those up.
Yeah, Noxy still has the rations as well.
I think I have some rations too. Sure.
All right. This is where keeping rations and water skins is useful.
So I'll just mark down one of my rations then.
I'll go ahead and do that too.
Yeah, unless does anybody not have at least one thing of rations?
Lobu does not have any rations.
I Dread does not either. So
I have 10 because I've never eaten rations. So I can give one to Lobu. Dread, do you need one?
I need one, yes.
Okay, so I'll mark off 3 for me.
You see Noxie crunch into a very stale-looking piece of bread.
All right, you guys have eaten, gotten your rest. You're ready for the day. You're in the middle of this ancient city, looking towards a great pyramid of some sort. An old step pyramid that seems to be at the center of it.
Now, I'm not an archaeologist, but I'm going to bet that the Golden City's in that giant fucking pyramid.
Hell yes.
Noxie starts rubbing her hands together.
That's not quite how. Okay.
I mean, we're certainly free to explore the surrounding areas. It just kind of, looks like rubble to me.
Yeah, super pointless.
We found those great 2 pieces of culture. We found that golden plate, which, yes, is made of gold. We also found the vase. The vase, if we can get someone to restore it, it's like a great piece of history.
Dovin, if I wanted
Yes.
a vase, I would go to one of the general stores back at Saltmarsh.
But would the vase be from the ancient city of, check my notes, Nausicaa? Or no, this is Tamhetchen.
Dovin, no one knows what the fuck that means.
More like lame hitchin.
Hell yeah.
High five.
High five.
But despite all that, I agree. We should just go to the pyramid. But we should also be careful. This place, they used to have lots of rituals. They explored a lot of magic. And so, who knows what could be in that?
I mean, I suppose there's only one way to find this out. So, are you all ready to go?
Noxie has a sign. Think of all the treasure we could find and then treasure's crossed out and she wrote knowledge on top of it.
Exactly, Noxie. Okay.
Does anybody want to lead the way?
Well, we probably don't need to stress about it too much until we get to the temple, but sure, I'll go first.
Sure.
Noxie will be right beside Dovin.
I'll follow them.
All right, person in lead, please give me a perception check. You see several ravens sitting on a branch cawing down at you.
A what on a branch?
Ravens.
Oh.
And somewhere off, going through another house, you see a snake just kind of vanishing into a doorway.
There's a lot of life here. Should maybe keep an eye out for anything bigger than a bird.
I mean, if we really wanted to, I could try to talk to them. I don't know if they'd be willing.
As cool as that would be, I'm not sure what we'd ask them.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say no, though. if you really want to do it.
I mean, not particularly. I think we'll be fine as long as we keep our eyes peeled.
Sounds good.
I guess we could ask if there have been any people coming or going in the last day. Though I think we established it's pretty well abandoned, right?
You haven't seen any activity at the two camps that you came across. Looks like they haven't seen anybody in a while. In fact, the only activity you have seen is that of the goblins that seem to be living on this island. And they were quickly kind of cowed by your claims to be, what was it? Claims to be a god, claims to be the emissary of a god.
Were they
Yeah.
cowed by our bold claims, or were they weirded out by our strange behavior?
You're not sure. You didn't do an insight check on them.
I wonder how they got here. Did we bring them? And by we, I mean general civilization, or have they been here forever?
Didn't they mention something about taking over the island, it being theirs, or some shit like that? I mean, I'm not entirely sure. I was focusing on Nazi translation, but I may have misinterpreted.
Can goblins just sail on their own?
Depends on the goblin. You know, most of the time, from your observations, Noxie, most of the goblins you've seen tend to be, just one or two in the midst of other groups of humanoids. You haven't seen a full group of goblins sailing on their own. Not in your experience, and you haven't heard of anything like that, but that does not mean it hasn't happened.
Okay.
So, as you guys continue on, it takes you about an hour of work traveling along, with the sun climbing into the sky, and you see the pyramid temple in front of you, somewhat in the distance, and from here you can see overgrown flagstones and various pillars that seem to have fallen off to the side. Most of them are currently overgrown with vines and briars.
Are we at the foot of the pyramid?
You're a little bit away. I mean, you're basically within 100 feet of the foot of the pyramid, and you see basically into a what's probably like the surrounding wall, which is like leading up to where it was, maybe there was a garden here at some point. It's hard to tell. Maybe there was just a square where people gathered to watch sacrifices, for all you know. But you're basically reaching an area where the buildings go away, and you're going just into the area where the pyramid temple is itself.
Is there any visible entrance to the temple?
Roll a perception check. Well, you look around, you don't see a doorway in, but you do see all of the steps going up. Like, how the pyramids, it's stepped at the beginning, just step, but, tall. But there are actually steps going up the center, which are easy enough to walk up. And even from here, you can see what looks to be some kind of altar up at the top.
So it's kind of like a Mayan temple, almost.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a step pyramid, more like a Mayan temple than the step pyramids of what other culture had the step pyramids? Wasn't there a pyramid-like structure in Indonesia, or do they have the rounded tops? I'm forgetting my my archaeology
I'm
at
not
the
sure.
moment.
I think it was Aztecs. I don't fully remember
Aztecs and Mayans, actually. But I think they both might have. 'Cause it was prevalent in the cultures of Central and South in tops of South America, if I recall right. Aztecs are were the main ones because they were still around when the you know the conquist yeah, the European colonists came over.
Hmm.
But
So it seems like if there's anything we want to do before we go to the pyramid, we should do it now.
Then let's do it.
As we're going, I think Lobu's going to check around for traps.
perception
Kind
check.
of casual.
You don't see anything. You don't hear anything.
So Noxie pointed out the stairs going up the side of the pyramid.
Yeah, past the broken columns covered in vines. As you can see the stairs, they're heading up towards what looks like an altar.
Okay, so there's an altar up there. Is there an entrance that we can see either by the altar or
no,
further up?
well, if there's an entrance up there, it's too high up to see from this vantage point.
Gotcha.
You just don't see any down here on this level.
Okay. How do we want to proceed up this side?
I'm okay with steps.
Yeah. I mean, do we want to change up the order at all? I'm fine still going first because I have a pretty good perception. But if we want to switch it up, now's probably the
we can keep the same order. Noxie's gonna stick by Dovin.
Yeah, I don't want to necessarily switch order, but I do want to move closer right behind Dovin and Noxie in case anything happens.
Where the eyes and ears here, Noxie.
She nods.
Give her a wink.
She winks back.
All right.
So I guess I'll start heading up, and in my head, I'm imagining the trap where like all the stairs flatten out and the big giant boulder comes running down. So I'm going to be specifically looking out for that, but I'm also just going to be like generally looking out for other things too.
That doesn't happen, but the following does. As you guys make your way, pushing past the vines and briars, getting into the courtyard proper, and heading for those stairs, you hear crashing coming through the underbrush nearby, which you hadn't heard before. And as you glance around to see what's happening, you think you see people coming close. But then the ground under you begins to shake, and before you can do anything else, there is a sudden opening underneath of you, and you fall down into a series of tunnels. Dust fills the air, and darkness swallows you.
Shit.
That sucked.
Walked right into that one.
Is everyone all right?
Lobu, can you please stop sitting on my chest?
I can't. And by that I mean I don't want to. Who knows what this floor is made out of, and if it will collapse again? I think I'm comfortable, right?
Yeah, give me 1 second to put your tokens out.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's all black.
Yeah.
Magical dark in this dungeon. Oh no.
That would be bad.
Just let me know after I shift over to you if you guys still can't see. Cause I'm pretty sure you guys all have your eyes calibrated, but I'm not 100%. So can
Ah,
you guys all see?
Yeah.
Yep.
Excellent. Welcome to the Hidden Shrine of Temiyoachin.
What a great welcome. Ouch. My back.
Yeah.
All right, Dovin.
Far. Go ahead.
This is a bad place, and this is a bad time, and we seem to be trapped down here. Actually, can I tell if we're trapped down here?
I'll get to that in 1 second. Let me read the description. You are in a long, narrow chamber running east to west. In the center of this apartment is a domed. In the center of this apartment is a domed shape on the floor. In the east wall is a blank-faced stone door. The west end of the room is blocked by fallen stones and rubble that appear to be the results of a collapse. The one you just survived, and actually are completely unscathed other than having the wind knocked out of you. The two side walls appear to have several niches cut into them. The shape in the center of the chamber appears to be a small alcove protected by a half dome, with the open end facing towards the door to the east wall. This alcove is set in a recessed, shallow, tiled well, 1 foot deep and 10 feet wide. The alcove itself is 4 feet high. The recess contains some sort of display. The display appears to be a diorama depicting a hunting party of various warriors, in feathers and deer-hide garments. In a mountainside scene, some have pulled down a stag with the aid of a dog. Another group is cleaning a small mule deer, and others have cornered a panther with their spears. The scout watches the panther from the outcropping above. He holds a metal staff with a loop on its end. It looks like a shepherd's crook. The 3 niches on both the northern and southern walls are 5 feet wide and about 3 feet off the floor. Each niche contains a diorama depicting some aspect of tribal life. The 6-inch tall figures in all of the displays appear to be made of stucco, realistically and brightly painted. The scenes portrayed represent fishing, farming, religion, warfare, the creation story, and crafting. The cave-in that you survived completely blocks the west end of the chamber. At short intervals, small amounts of rubble and dirt come spilling into the room. Several large stones appear to have wedged themselves tightly, closing the collapse. Oh, shoot. Alright. How badly did I cut in and out? What did you guys hear?
Got like 85% of it, I think.
Alright.
Yeah, you started cutting out for me too.
It was kind of a weird stuttering thing. Like we would get like most of a sentence, and then it would like jump almost like forward. It would slow down a bit, and then it would jump forward. I
So
think we got most of it, but a lot of the details we're probably going to need.
what's
Alright.
this thing? What's this in the middle?
That is the... let's see. The shape in the center of the chamber appears to be a small alcove protected by a half dome. It is facing towards the door on the eastern wall, which would be this one over here, because it's north, this is east, and this is west on this map. I'm used to north being up and south being down. The alcove is in a released, shallow, tiled well 1 feet deep and 10 feet wide. The alcove itself is 4 feet high. The recess contains some sort of display. Would you like a repeat of what the display contains?
No. Does it move?
It does not appear to move, no.
Okay, so there's no, because of the cave-ins, there's no immediate doorways to go.
The only door that you see is the one to the east.
Oh, right, east is up. Okay.
Yeah.
These things are just static. There's no appear to be anything that moves in them either.
Actually, if you're talking about, I thought you meant if does this dome itself move. As you peer into them and look at the dioramas, you see that the little stucco figures probably could move. You could probably pick them up and take them out.
How far do I think we've fallen?
Let's see. Roll a nature check. Let's see if I can actually get a good response to this. You think you've fallen between 10 and 20 feet, but you were sliding down a slope, a lot of it, so that kind of, again, only knocked the wind out of you instead of actually causing real injury.
Okay.
Dovin, you are my only source of food, and I need you to not take any risks. All right?
And this is all roofed in. It can't be climbed.
It's all roofed in. It's whatever was underneath the temple from the looks of it.
Is it well lit in this room? Like, what's lighting it?
Ooh, that's a good point. It does have demonic lighting, doesn't it? And all of you can see, which means there should be there is some kind of light source somewhere. That is.
Well, I think we all.
Because Dovin doesn't have dark vision.
I do have dark vision.
Oh, you do?
Yes, because of that helmet.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, that's right.
And that's why you can all see. No, there's no actual light in here. You're all seeing because dark vision or helmet or whatever. Which means you can't actually see the colors on the stucco. You just know that they're brightly colored. Got it.
So all these. Go ahead.
How's this door open, in or out?
That's a good question. Let me double check on that. As you're looking over at the door, you notice that there's actually some stuff on it. The door is carved with a sun symbol and appears to open into the room. There are hinges on this side and scratches on the floor. However, there is no visible lock or handle on it. Although you can see a slight gap stretching across the top of the door. Not enough for any person, not even Noxie, to fit through, though. Just just a hair over a paper type of gap. 8 holes seem to have been bored into the door. They are about an inch in diameter, but nothing can be seen in them. The door itself seems to be fairly thick. The lintel, how do you pronounce that? Is arched with a keystone at the top.
Not sure I understand. So it doesn't appear to open?
You see no visible means of opening it, no. But if it does open,
What
it
are
opens
these
into the room.
holes?
You mentioned a keyhole.
Keystone.
Keystone. Yeah, so that means there's potentially an object that we can put in there that'll open the door.
Well, did you mention that these could be taken apart, or like things could come?
It looks like things can be taken out of the alcoves, yes. The pieces of the diorama.
Would we need to maybe somehow figure out if these go into this, and maybe that'll do something, or?
So all these dioramas are of hunting, right?
They
Basically.
are depicting all sorts of different things. The scenes portrayed represented are fishing, farming, religion, warfare, the creation story, and crafting. It seems like the center one is the main one with the hunting.
These are all aspects of life. Would these be like deities or anything? Like, do they have deities representing each of these different aspects of life?
Roll a religion check. You weren't sure. For all you know, these could all just be gods, or they just could all be people. It's really hard to tell since you don't know enough about them. However, you do
So
know
what's
that
the
you do know that one of the niches, the one that Volan is currently standing next to, does contain some sort of creation story.
can I look at the key? I forget what it's called already. Keystone
Sure.
impression and see if
Roll-
it had like a particular shape that
roll
might match one of the.
Roll a perception or investigation check on that.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell. I mean, you look at that, you're looking around, and you don't see anything specifically that would match up with that keystone.
Yeah, we could try Volan. Were you suggesting we move things to the center one?
Maybe. I figured. I mean, I don't know how else we'd get through that door. I figured we could just try.
Yeah, sure. But try the creation one. People always like the creation myths.
So, looking into the display that appears to be the creation of the world, all the statues are stylized and obviously non-human. They look movable. You see a god adorned with feathers of some sort of vibrant color, which again, since you guys are all using dark vision, you can't actually see what color. And appears to be mixing ash with what looks like blood to form a sculpture of a man and a woman. While four towering figures in another color, looks somewhat different from whatever colors on the feathers. In fact, it looks like several different colors, are standing around a fire committing suicide with their daggers. Two smaller figures are ringed by the four. There is a modest looking one that is being consumed by fire, while another one, which kind of looks like somewhat like a snail, seems to be cowering in fear. What would you like to do?
Kind of just want to gingerly pick up a piece and look at it.
All right. Do you have any piece in particular you wish to pick up?
What about the biggest one?
Okay, that's probably the god with the feathers that's currently making sculptures of a man and a woman.
Yeah, that one.
Feels nice in your hands. This place has been buried for quite some time, and yet it's almost as if this has been, was made not that long ago, like maybe within the last few years. Possibly because this chamber has been, completely sealed for a long time. If that door is any indication. It doesn't seem to do anything. You don't see any extra markings on it. It doesn't feel hot or cold. And it's not overly heavy.
What was that last thing you said?
I said it's not overly heavy, so it's not like weighted more than you would expect a figure of that size to be weighted.
Okay. I'm gonna be fascinated by like the carving, the I can't think words properly. I'm gonna be impressed by the skill, taking the carve it and be terribly fascinated with the cultural aspects of this. So I guess I'm gonna put it down, although I really want to put it in the bag so we can take it to a museum or something. Suddenly I'm Indiana Jones. I don't know why.
Oh, we can touch stuff now? And then Nobu is going to just start picking up all of the figurines in the
You pull
diorama.
out. You pull out Okay. Roll a 1d20. All right. So you managed to grab three warriors out of the out of this diorama that appears to be some kind of battle scene. And before you can grab any more, the three warriors suddenly come to life and attack.
Oh,
Guys.
Like, oh, they become full size. He's not being attacked by miniatures.
Yep. They suddenly return from miniature to like they shimmer for 1 second, and suddenly there's three full-grown tribal warriors in front of you.
Oh my.
Roll for initiative.
Oh boy.
yeah, it makes sense for a little bit of crit.
All right. I think that's all of you. Yep. Lubu, you're currently surrounded.
Before I do anything, can I do like an insight on one of these guys to see if they look like they might talk to me?
Sure. You may insight them. You can't tell. It's hard to tell what these things are. Maybe they're spirits of whatever was inhabiting this. Maybe they're just constructs. Whatever it is that as soon as you moved those miniatures out of the diorama, they turned into full-sized.
Well, with that insight roll, I think he's going to attack this one with his action and bonus action.
Okay.
Just kind of lash out. Ah!
Smash. First hit strikes right in. You get underneath this thing's armor. It doesn't appear to be bleeding, but you get the sense that it is damaged badly from the attack.
And that's my turn.
Topaz.
All right. 25, 30. There. Launch an attack at this guy.
Okay.
This will be the spear.
Alright. Push the spear right through the body, and again, no blood, but you do sense injury from this thing.
Okay. Spend a key point, flurry of blows. First attack on that same guy.
Okay. And even as you finish landing your blows, it kind of shimmers, vanishes, turns back into one of those little minifigures, which then gets propelled across the floor, looking a bit damaged.
Okay. Well, then the second flurry of blows will go to the one to my right. I would like to make him make the. Let's see. No reactions till the end of my next turn. We'll do that.
Alright, no reactions. What if I stopwatch on that thing?
That'll be it.
Alright.
Okay, so I feel less bad about hurting these guys. I'm just gonna throw a punch at the back of this guy's head.
The same reaction as what you just saw with Topaz. It kind of like you see the punch land, kind of crushing into what would normally be a skull, and then the thing shimmers and turns back into a miniature figure.
Yeah, and I'll move 5, 10, 15, 20, 20. And that's my turn.
Okay. Dread.
I need to reload. Not sure what's going on with this roll 20. It's not showing me moving or anything.
Okay, we can wait.
So these things look like constructs. They don't look like people.
They look like people, but they aren't. Okay. When they're looking at it, it's kind of like would be like a video game figure, Like they can look really realistic, but unless they're programmed properly, they're not giving you any expression. They're just, going to. This look like they're going to attack, and that's it.
Like the Uncanny Valley stuff.
Yeah.
Got it.
Need you to pull me back over there.
All right. Any luck?
Not seeing anything. No.
It might have just loaded you off in the wrong spot. Can you see now?
I can't yet.
Can you access your character sheet?
Yeah.
All right. How about I move your token over to the thing, and then you make an attack roll if you like.
Okay.
I'm just double checking your sight. Yeah, you should be able to see.
Alright, so I'll attack.
Alright, yeah. And all it takes is one more hit, and that thing just resumes back to its original form, but broken and tarnished.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, so it's good to know that they do that.
Why don't I detect magic before we touch anything else?
Okay. As you cast Detect Magic, you notice that all but the niche that you're currently standing in front of, Dovin, light up with some kind of illusion magic. It looks like each of the miniature figures, except for this niche, the Creation Story niche, come to life in some sort of way and attack, or do something if they're moved or disturbed.
I say that out loud.
Oh, so we can touch these ones.
Maybe. Why don't we
Pick
avoid...
one up.
These should be safe. Like, nothing around them is magic either, right?
Nothing around them? Correct.
Is there any sort of trap? Like, is one of these like a switch? Can we tell?
No, you do notice that not like every single part of everything is, part of the magic, such as, like, the tribal warriors are all magic. For example, in the center
Did
display,
they reappear on the mural after we quote unquote
the diorama,
killed them, or
no? The three that were taken out are laying on the ground. Their magic is depleted.
perhaps we should put them back? And the other question I have was looking at this one here in the middle. Are there spaces where it looks like other figures stood, like where there were bases that are now gone?
Roll an investigation check.
Call Noxie over for that. I call Noxie over for that. I voice my suspicions. Does it look like we need to put something more there? Can you tell?
I will make an investigation check now.
Alright. So what you see before you is a scene of hunting. You see 12 tribal warriors, one scout, a mastiff, and a panther, and some deer. It while there is room in the diorama for other potential figures, there's no bases or anything like that. The tribal warriors hold spears. The scout has some kind of curved shepherd's hook. The mastiff is colorless, and the panther looks like it's been hurt, and the deer are just there. So it doesn't look like there's anything missing from that scene.
Okay.
Can I pick up the feathered god figurine again and look at the base?
Sure.
Like basically flipped them over.
It appears to have feet that are weighted to keep it from tipping over when it even though it's not like form fitting and sleek.
How many holes are in the door?
Bored into the door are 8 holes. They are about an inch in diameter.
You cut out again. We can't hear you.
Okay. There you go.
And how many figurines are in the creation one?
Let's see. In the creation one, including the one that Lobu is playing with, we have 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9.
Well, we could try to shove these in there. One out.
I mean,
That's just what I was thinking.
let's pick these up one at a time very carefully. Be careful if I'm worried like one of these have like a latch or something under it, which could trigger something bad. So maybe Noxie should do this since she has the most skilled hands with this.
Okay. Noxie will nod, and she's gonna go. I'm gonna go over and pick up these figurines.
All right.
And you said there was 7?
Yeah, there's 7 in that niche of varying sizes. The largest of which is the one with the feathers. The 4
Can you explain
figures-
to us the general theme of each alcove again, please?
All right.
Did they have one overarching theme on each one?
Yes. The central display is a hunting scene. The other alcoves have
By which you mean the big circle in the middle, that thing.
Correct.
Okay.
The other ones have one has fishing, one has farming, one has religion. That's the one that Noxie and Dovin are standing in front of. Warfare. That's the one that Lobu triggered. Oh, sorry. Creation story is the one that Noxie and Dovin are standing in front of. Religion is a different one. The religious one is this one over here. Yes. And the last one is crafting, which would be this one up here.
I missed something. I got fishing, religion, warfare, crafting. There's 6 alcoves.
Yes.
Isn't there a farming one?
Fishing, farming, religion, warfare, creation story, and crafting. Let me write that down for you guys.
Yeah,
You really cutting out bad. Creation story was one.
Sorry, and
Story is the one we're standing in front.
And I know I restarted the computer before starting the game. I will reload my Discord in 1 second.
Perhaps we need to somehow arrange these in order of importance, or
We shouldn't touch any of the other ones. All the other ones look like they're gonna spawn defensive.
But what if the solution is, and hear me out, we fight everyone?
I mean, I'm not against that if this doesn't work, but maybe we should try the not smashing.
perhaps we should ask our resident thief what purpose these holes in the door serve.
And before you finish that, the GM is going to reload Discord. Be right back. looks like I needed to update my Discord. Because I keep cutting out for everybody. Let's see if this now works better.
Real hall.
Okay. I just updated Discord again. Let's see if that works.
They would build it to honor ancestors.
So last I heard, you were calling Noxie over to the door?
Or to give some sort of visual history of their people.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Noxus-
Also, go ahead. Sorry.
Nox is going to look at the little holes and see, like, does that have any purpose? Like,
Roll an investigation check. You can't really make too much more about them, other than, again, there's 8 of them all total, and they're only 1 inch in diameter. In fact, they probably, are a bit smaller than any of the figures in here.
Noxie shrugs and she's going to sit down on the ground and start playing with the figures.
Does it look like any of the? So, Noxie picked up all the figures from the creation myth.
Yeah, none of which were magical.
Right. So, do any of them fit into the holes?
No, they're all a bit bigger than the holes.
We could make them fit.
Yes. But maybe no.
Delvin, do you know these people's creation myth?
Not much. You can make a guess from this display here, but other than that, no, I don't know much about the religion.
Could we get a description of that, the way the alcove was set
The
up?
creation myth?
Again?
Yeah, before you started playing with it. Alright, I'll reread the description then for you. Before you started playing with it, the display depicted the creation of the world. All the statuettes are stylized and obviously non-human, except for the 2 figures that look to be a sculpted man and sculpted woman. There is a god at the center, which is the largest of them, that appears to have feathers on it, and is currently mixing ash with blood to form the statues of the man and the woman. Elsewhere, there are 4 towering figures that appear to be painted different colors, which, again, because of dark vision, you can't tell. Towering over a fire and 2 other figures. These figures appear to be about to commit suicide with daggers. The 2 smaller figures, one's much smaller than the other, appears to be rather modest, and is in the middle of the fire. Another one looks a bit like a snail, and seems to be cowering in fear in a corner.
I have a theory. I'm gonna light a torch.
Alright. As you do, you see various colors. The god is adorned with green feathers. The 4 figures in the center that are about to commit suicide are painted red, black, blue, and white. And again, none of that is flashing up with magic.
Do any of the other alcoves have colors associated with them?
Let us see. You start walking around. Let's see. In the niche C, which is the this one over here, the religion story, you see a display portraying a temple upon a tiered pyramid, much like the one that you were approaching. 7 commoners are bringing small offerings of what are clearly gold and jade. Before the temple stands a fanatic of some kind, holding a snake. Around him stand 3 tribal warriors, all in costumes. One is dressed as a winged serpent holding a spear. Another is dressed as a bear with razor claws. The third represents a coyote holding a torch. There are also several stone statues of the gods in the back. Um, that about seems about it. There are about 15 items of gold and jade inside that diorama. Uh, Also, you notice that everything in there except for the bits of gold and jade, including the various things that the tribal people are holding, shine with magic.
Does that gold and jade look like real gold and jade, or it's kind of like a painted?
It looks like real gold and jade to your eyes.
Oh
Now-
boy, hang on.
Here's the thing. Hear me out. We could take them.
I maybe
Let's
But I
just
also-
one at a time 'em.
we don't want to be locked in here forever.
I thought perhaps at first it had something to do with the priority of an ancient people towards their survival, and all I could think of was that creation would come first, then hunting, then fishing, then farming, then crafting, religion, and finally warfare. But I don't know how that would translate into doing anything with these murals to affect the door.
Is there any figures that would fit, like any at all, that would fit in the little holes?
Roll an investigation check, please.
Can I also do that?
Sure,
Can I help, Noxie?
sure. Alright.
I'll take the 17.
So you look around, and the all of the tribal figures that are holding spears, they're holding the spears too tightly. The spears themselves could probably fit in the holes. In fact, the one item that you see around in any of the niches that might fit in a hole, although it's kind of oddly shaped, might be that shepherd's crook that the scout is holding.
Might be the what?
The shepherd's crook that the scout is holding in the center diorama.
Hmm.
And the
Okay.
center diorama has magic?
Yes.
Okay.
And it definitely doesn't appear to move, it does not appear to rotate.
Correct. It does not appear to be movable. The figures inside of it.
No, the whole thing. This whole
Yeah.
piece of stone, does
Yeah,
it rotate?
No, it does not.
Well, we can try picking up the shepherd and taking the thing. If we think that might work, we should be ready for it.
I think we
Oh,
can take a shepherd.
Either that or we will just have to begin digging.
Alright. You pull the scout loose. Yeah, this is a generic scout picture. It's actually, a guy with a feathered green headdress. But just like the tribal warriors, the scout gets ready to attack. However, you don't see it holding a shepherd's crook. It's not full-sized. Instead, it seems to drop whatever it was from the diorama, as it was not part of the magic that made up the shepherd.
Can you say that again?
The item that it was holding, the shepherd's crook, did not turn big with it. In fact, it seems to have dropped it, as the item itself was not part of the magic that's now animating and resizing it.
Gotcha.
Ah, okay. So the crook is still small size.
And it's now on the floor.
Okay.
All right, guys, let's rock this guy's world. And then
Are you still having problems, Dread?
No, it should be good.
Because you didn't roll an initiative. Oh, there you go. There we go. making sure, because I know that last time you were having problems. Alright, Dread goes first.
Alright. Well, one step here. And swing at the person.
Much like with the tribal warriors, you do damage, but it does not bleed.
Okay. That's all I can do.
Noxie, it's on you.
Alright, I'm just gonna stab this guy with a dagger.
And your sneak attack?
Whoops, I didn't do that.
You gotta love rogues. Do more sneak attack damage than their regular hit. And that's enough to end it. And once again, it turns small and falls away from where the shepherd's crook dropped.
Go over and look at that. Pick that up. Does it seem to be about the right size to fit in one of those holes?
Yes, but as you hold it, you have this distinct impression that it's actually a key. Just by looking at it, as you're holding the one end of the crook, the other end of it, the end that was on the ground, really
All right,
does
I
look
know
like
my
a key.
limitations. I know my limitations. I go give that to Noxie and say, do you think this might fit in one of those holes? If it does, perhaps we need to look for something similar from each mural.
Could it fit in one of those holes? Definitely.
Yes.
Okay. Noxie nods, and she points out like the spears and stuff and the other stuff that she saw that could possibly fit in these holes.
Yes, look for something in each that's would be representative of what that diorama stands for, but is removable and would fit in one of these holes.
Among the 7 figures that I got from the creation story, is there any spears or anything that could fit through the?
No. And the daggers are on the other figures are part of the actual stucco itself and pointed inward, so that they wouldn't be able to fit there.
They're not necessarily. It's not necessarily because there's 8 holes in the door.
Correct.
And there's 7 like little story things, like little murals with the.
Correct.
So that doesn't necessarily mean that there's one key per alcove or
Right.
thing.
And while it does fit in there, it fits in on the crook side instead of on the key side. The key side is slightly wider than the hole.
Okay.
Noxie, can I see those all those little figurines?
Yeah, Noxie will hand that over.
DM, did you say that they feel a little bit heavier than they should?
No, I said they don't feel heavier than they should.
Sorry, cutting out issues.
Yeah. I guess the update didn't help.
So should we just try the key? Or were you saying that it won't quite fit in the holes?
There's like basically, think a key. Let's see if I actually have a handout for this. One second, let me see if there's a handout for this because I think there might be. Yes, there is. Hold on. Minus the scout figurine, but that's what the crook looks like. So you can see that there's basically a key in a loop.
I see.
Oh, I see. So I guess look for a keyhole. But there's no keyhole on the door, right?
You haven't seen one.
And
Oh. Continue.
I was just gonna say the door doesn't appear magical, and there's no just no notable coloring.
Correct. Let's see. There is a sun symbol, so that's pretty much the color of the sun, but that's about it.
Can
All
I
right.
look where the old figures used to be? Specifically where the god was standing?
Sure. Investigation. Yeah, try as you might, looking through that niche, you see nothing more of interest in there.
Alright.
I'm going to look for keyholes around walls and stuff.
Roll an investigation check, please, Noxie. Alright. So, you take a couple minutes, you wander throughout the hall, you come back up to the door, and you give the door a second look. This time with the key in hand, and it's weird. You checked this door out before, you checked the little holes, and you even looked at that keystone before. But now with the key in your hand, you've given it a second look, and you think that keystone up there has a sliding panel in front of it.
Oh, damn. Alright, I'm going to try sliding that panel.
It's above your head.
Ah.
You're gonna need help.
About how high is it?
Let's see, I think that the door... Let's see, the door is at least 7 feet, I'd imagine. I'm not good with that sort of judgment estimations unless they actually write it down. But either way, it's well above a goblin's head. However, someone like you could probably reach it and, move stuff around.
You just see Noxie, like, reaching up, trying to reach something.
Do you want me to lift you?
She looks at you and nods.
Okay, I'm gonna lift Noxie up.
Yeah. I'm not even gonna worry about the strength check on this. You guys have done this before. You lift her up, she goes over, she starts, moving the panel aside, and discovers there is in fact a keyhole that will fit the key in her hand.
I'm slamming that key in there.
Click, click. And as it does...
I'm gonna...
Oh, go ahead.
I just wanted to turn off my light.
Okay. You squelch your torch. Got it. So, you hear a click, click, and the door starts to move inward towards you guys.
I'm gonna move out of the way of that.
The door... Zoomed in close enough. There you go. And for completing this task and completing this room and everything else as of late, you guys are now level 5.
Oh shit!
Oh shit! Now what do we do? Can't do that to us mid-session. There are decisions to be made.
Sorry.
Do we need to take a short rest to get the benefits?
No, I'm just gonna let you get the benefits right now.
Yes. Yay.
Congrats, Dovin.
You thought my damage was ridiculous before. Wait till you see my 3d6.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. I'm playing a rogue in another game, and the guy's using a variant on the crits, where one of the die on the crit is max, and rather than just doubling them all, like one of them is max, you still get the double. And I mean, tell you what, with a sneak attack crit, that's just ugly. I think we're like 3rd level, and I did over 30 points, 29, 30 points in one hit. Just 2 dice with longbow. I was like, get 3, you become a monster.
I'm at 69 hit points.
I rolled a 1.
That's pretty awesome.
So I'm looking here. Looks like Charactermancer doesn't do feats. Is that true? Am I not doing?
Yeah, I've never found a way of getting feats to work on Charactermancer. What feat would you like? No, I guess you'll have to add it in
Actor.
manually. Okay.
Yeah, you can just go into information and then like drag and drop the feat into your character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What were the rules for health again? It was roll for it, right?
Yeah. Or take average. You can pick beforehand.
I already rolled, so I'm gonna stick with my 1, I guess.
I will give you 1 reroll if you like. A 1
Oh.
on a squishy rogue is not that's not the greatest thing, but you might get another 1. So
That's better.
there you go. I figured with this health thing, it's better to give you just to give you a quick bonus on that instead of letting you flounder with the lowest HP by 10. Are you guys ready?
Not yet.
Okay. Let me know when you are.
I am ready.
I'm ready.
Just gonna test something really fast.
Okay.
Yeah. 11
Wow.
stuff.
Hey, Chris.
Yes.
Since we hit level 5, I have access to level 3 spells, and I get 1 more spell prepared. Can I pick a level 3 spell to have prepared, or do we need to rest first?
I think for that one, unfortunately, you're gonna need to rest.
Okay. But I can upcast to 3rd level.
Good to go.
Okay. Is everyone still the whatever classes they had, or did anyone add a class? Just curious.
Not yet. I don't plan on doing that until like I have like a in-story reason for doing so.
That's always good.
But I don't think I want to go all the way rogue because I don't know, that seems kind of dull to me.
Teach their own.
Okay. I think I'm good.
Alrighty. Okay. So, on to in the corridor, the following. The stone walls of this corridor are carved to resemble a stack of bamboo-like logs. The passage slopes down from a single door on its western leg to the lintel of which has been crafted to represent a stylized crane entrance. It leads to double doors of beaten bronze worked to resemble a forest seaweed. So that would be the crane is on this side here. And as you guys get into the corridor, you'll be able to see the other door at a distance.
Where's the seaweed?
Seaweed door is all the way down there.
What's on these doors, if anything?
That's a good question. Roll an investigation check.
Stop making me do investigation. Noxie. Noxie, get up here.
What am I investigating?
The doors.
The
Okay.
strange indentations in the wall that appear to be the bamboo. Yeah. You look around and that doesn't seem like much, but as you look at the floor directly next to them, Noxie, being pretty astute, you have this feeling that that's a pressure plate in front of you. And the way that these walls are, kind of pulled out this way, the weirdness of the wall here, you get this feeling that those are movable pieces of wall.
Oh. Okay.
Movable pieces of wall. Is there some kind of carvings on them that don't match up? Don't tell me to make an investigation check. I'll scream.
That's what Noxie already saw, so that's on Noxie to tell you.
Yeah, Noxie will just like put up a sign and like write trap with an arrow pointing to the pressure plate.
There's
Where?
actually,
Just
Here?
yep, it looks like the floor in front of you, right in front of those indents in the wall, are in fact pressure plates.
How far does it go?
It looks like it actually covers this, like one on each side here, and covers the entire space. The 5 feet. Yeah, looks like it goes all the way there.
Look at Noxie. Can we jump it?
how far did you say it was? It was like
Yeah, the pressure plate basically fills this area here.
okay, so it's just here. All right, so yeah, she would nod. We can definitely jump this.
What happens if we don't make it?
She puts her hands kind of like she does like a squishing motion with her hands.
Oh, these walls over here will crush us.
She nods.
Well then, no pressure or anything.
Nice.
I don't know that I trust even that. But is it the same kind of walls over there? Looks like there might be. Like this
Can I see
whole
that far?
hall.
Noxie does not see that. Noxie sees the here and here. Everything else, similar carvings of bamboo, but not quite as stuck out the way and obvious the way that these are here.
Okay. All right. Well, Noxie's just going to jump the pressure plates.
All right.
No.
Acrobatics.
Acrobatics. Well, I think
Athle-
if I do a running jump, I can just cover it. Can
That's true.
Huh?
Oh, sorry. I was just trying to. I was just remembering your stat thing. Yes, you can jump that. You're naturally athletic. Yeah, you clear over that. And you're very light. You easily make it across the pressure plate.
But the rest of us are gonna have to try.
And nothing happens?
And nothing has happened so far. Noxie seems to be safe. The other side, heading towards the door from the looks of things.
Hey guys, I can help everybody as they try and get across.
Okay, I'll go next. What do I need to roll?
Let's see, that would be dexterity, so acrobatics.
Acrobatics?
You're trying to basically make sure you don't land on the plate when you come down.
And does Lobu helping me give me advantage?
Yes.
Sweet. Thank you, Lobu.
You land quite easily on the other side. Who's next? Uh-oh, I think... let's,
I can still hear you.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm not very acrobatic, but I
There you
will
go.
try.
I can hear you.
So I have advantage.
Yes. Next to Lebu. Yep. You make it across.
You need a boost, Lobo.
Well, as long as you're offering.
Ready? Go. Shove his butt across the square.
And that one's fine.
Topaz, you want to go ahead?
Sure. Not even a thing. Jump 7 feet without a roll.
That's a monk for
Alright.
you.
Well, that's anybody who's got a strength. It's half your strength attribute as a standing jump. Up to your strength attribute with a 10-foot run. So 5 feet is nothing. Unless you're, your strength is like 5, I
That
guess.
means Volan should be able to get across that quite easily. Yeah,
Does
alright.
that round up or down, by the way?
Hmm?
Does that round up or down the standing jump?
I have no idea. They don't say. It's for standing. It just is half that distance. It's a long jump is up to your strength score in feet if you move at least 10 feet. Half that if you don't. So I guess round up.
I think definitely clear.
Does it matter for you?
I mean, not really, because I add my dexterity to it as well.
Okay.
Not my, just my modifier.
I'll make an acrobatics just in case, but I guess a natural 1. Yeah. I mean, unless we're not doing that rule, but that basically makes jumping pretty much easy. That's why I asked if it went all the way. I thought it was going to be this entire section of hall, at which point that would have been a problem.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to open this door.
Alright.
Are there carvings on that door?
It looks like it's carved to resemble a forest of seaweed. So Noxie pushes the doors open with ease and sees into the room beyond. This room is constructed of a large stone blocks,
crap.
buttressed in the corners. The walls are wet and slimy, and mud covers most of the floor in a thin coating. To the east and west may be seen stone doors recessed into the wall, and to the north a set of stairs leading down. In the center of the chamber sits a large polished boulder amid a pile of smaller rounded rocks. The boulder is 5 feet tall and colored brown with dark streaks and spots. Leaning against it appears to be a bamboo staff. In the mud around the base of the boulder is a moving shape. It looks like a crayfish. It's facing you and seems to be aware of your presence. Its antennae are twitching and it seems to be waiting for something.
Do I know what that is?
Roll a nature check.
I
So
will
this
be doing
is-
the same.
This is a stick leaning on the rocks.
That's what it looks like from here, yeah.
Lobu's gonna signal at the creature and be like, "Hey, buddy, you got inherent swimming speed?"
Yeah. Is it a beast?
It's hard to tell, but it seems to be waving its claws back, and Libu, you kind of get this idea that it's trying to tell you something, because it appears to be saying something in some language you do not understand. However, being friend of the sea, you kind of get from it your gestures that it's wanting to know who you are, why it's coming into this room, and that you should go at this right now.
Guys, he doesn't like us.
Ah,
Yeah, I got that impression too. Well, that's too bad.
Lobu, can you tell him that we're trapped here and we need to go this way?
Sure. Yeah.
Hey, buddy, we're
Uh,
trapped here. Need to go this way.
I'll actually reach out with my mind this time. Oh, hey, sorry to bother you. I don't know if you're doing anything private in here with that stick, but we gotta go through here.
Stick? The crayfish actually turns around and looks at the stick at the wall, and then looks back towards you. That is no stick. That is a leg.
Oh no, you're cutting out right with the stick explanation.
Does the 22 tell me what that is?
You're looking at, okay. The 22, tells you that's a rather large crayfish, a giant one, in fact, and that seems to be, given that it seems to be having a conversation with Lubu and more than just the normal friend of the sea, that it is a bit more intelligent than one would expect from a giant crayfish.
I'm sorry, a bit what?
Smarter.
So it's surprisingly intelligent.
Correct.
Can
So
you speak?
The giant crayfish seems to be speaking in Lubu's mind and says, "What is all that yammering about?"
That's just Dobin. Don't worry about it. He means best. He actually has a crab friend, so he's cool.
I can't pronounce his name. I'm just gonna say KK might like that. KK hasn't
Is it?
is sleeping though.
Oh, is that a friend of yours?
The giant crayfish looks back towards the boulder, which the stick that is not a stick is leaning against, and then looks back at you. I
Oh.
am KK's protector.
Didn't catch that.
The crayfish is telling Lobu that it protects KK.
Can I do like a Nate? Can I look at that and
Okay.
see if I can tell anything about it?
Sure, nature check. You look closer, and well, the staff is definitely some sort of bamboo staff. The rest of it, you can tell that's not a boulder. That's a shell. And most likely, it's given the way that staff looks, and the crayfish's reaction to it, especially referring to the crab. That's most likely a giant hermit crab there.
Oh, guys, there's a giant crab in there. That thing is a giant crab, and we have what I assume are two brand new friends.
Callie is gonna be just like snipping, super excited. Even though she's not really a crab, she likes to pretend to be one.
Lobu, that's all and well. We still need to get past these people. Do they seem willing to let us do that, or?
Oh, yeah, I kind of lost the thread.
The stick moves slightly, and you can see that it seems to be, touching the ground around it. The mud. It's very thick mud, actually. Very slick and slippery. Although the sea elves would probably have no problem whatsoever transversing it.
How deep is this water?
Let's see. I'm trying to see if it has an actual size difference. I'm gonna guess it is probably about 3 feet deep,
Oh,
given its nature.
it's nothing. I mean, it's only 3 feet deep, and that's all. We can't. Like 3 feet is hiding the rest of the hermit crab.
Well, the hermit crab's probably tied up and hiding inside of its shell and the boulders around it. Kind of like seems to sit up, and you see like a hermit crab eye poking out from behind there. And it also starts speaking in that weird language that the crayfish had been talking at you.
What's it saying?
Doesn't
No.
sound like anyone in your party understands the language. Lobu was only communicating with the crayfish because of awakened mind.
Oh, I thought he was using Friend of the Sea.
Well, he used Friend of the Sea to understand it that it was gesturing enough to be more than just a an animal here. That it was, had more of a way of communicating back and forth. He didn't actually understand the language that was being spoken, just the gestures.
What about the hermit crab? Is it not a beast? What are they?
From the looks of it, it's much like the crayfish. It's beast-like, but some kind of person as well.
Excuse me, Topaz. Will you trade spots with me real quick? I want to see if I can't talk to this hermit crab.
Go ahead.
So I'm close enough to use awakened mind, and I'll be like, "Oh, hey, KK. I was just talking to your friend over there, and we were wondering if we could maybe get through this room."
The hermit crab just kind of shifts a bit. All of you can now make out that this is a crab of some kind, and that one of its legs has been replaced with that bamboo staff. It kind of shifts a bit in the pile, kind of rises up, and looks at you, looks at the crab, and says, "Oh, you're trying to move through here. Oh. Well, where do you wish to go?"
Honestly, we kind of got trapped down here, so we're mostly trying to get out. Though, if you have any gold down here that you could part with, we would also just take that off your hands for.
I don't have anything. I don't really know much about this place, just that I've been here all my life. He kind of looks around and then just kind of gestures. I know there's a staircase back to the east. Sorry, up to the east somewhere. He kind of seems to be sleepy and trying to wake up. I think that the doors will open for you.
I missed that last bit.
The giant crab's basically saying it believes there's a staircase off to the east over here, and that the doors should open for you.
And would you mind if we went past you the other way as well?
What other way? And it again seems to be looking around. You mean the stairs over there to the north?
Yeah.
I suppose. And the giant crayfish seems to be upset, but they might get too close. Oh, settle down. It'll be okay.
Okay, so as long as we don't come too close to you, we're all good.
Yeah, the crayfish just kind of snip, 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 snip in the air. It's like, yeah, don't come close. I'll take care of you if you come close.
Sounds good. Oh, one last thing. Who gave you that sweet fake leg there, KK?
He looks down at the staff and says, "Well, some time ago, I don't know how long, I lost one of my legs. I was attempting to explore one of the areas around here, and the guardians of this place saw fit to replace my leg with this one."
I'll then just turn to the group and relay all of that and be like, I don't know if there's somebody in here doing rogue veterinarian work or what, but someone gave that crab a bamboo stick for a leg. So that's pretty cool, if you ask me.
I'd love to meet them. They could be ancestors. They could be nice people. They could also try to eat our souls.
Classic strangers.
Like a box of chocolates.
You never know what you're gonna get.
Except if one of the chocolates was like a hornet or something.
Or a snake.
Don't even joke.
Okay, well,
Which
Are we
way do
good to
we
go?
want to go?
does KK know where each one goes?
They seem to think that that door over there might lead to some stairs that go out, and no specific information on that one. But my treasure sniffer is really liking that one, personally.
As long as we stay together.
And I mean, at least now that we know that there is a way out, we can explore with less anxiety.
Yeah.
So north it is then?
North sounds good.
Noxie, do you want to ride on my shoulders?
She nods. I was actually thinking about asking someone to do that.
Deep into this water.
Squish, squish, squish. Lots of mud.
It's 3 feet deep,
Ah,
and Moxie's 3'5".
There's a door to the west. Do we care?
Good question. It's awful close to those guys, I'll say that.
Yeah, the crayfish is just watching you all carefully.
These stairs go up or down?
They appear to go down. The landing at the foot of a short flight of steps is filled with mud and silt that partly blocks the door leading north. The door looks like it's meant to be opened inward, for the hinges are on this side and a large grip to pull. However, with all the silt in the way, it looks like you're going to have to move that silt before you can open the door.
Can I use shape water to pull all the water out of that space so we can shovel the remaining dirt more easily?
Sure.
Cool.
Where would you like to place the rest of the water? Just behind you, towards the crayfish and the thing?
Yeah.
Around? Okay.
Yeah, nothing dramatic. Just shift
Alright.
it. Oh.
The crayfish kind of like pokes the extra water with a claw and just seems to be staring at you. Alright. Yeah, it looks like there's still some water starting to pour back down the stairs. Who would like to quickly try to remove the dirt from the area so they can open the door?
I'll help whoever's doing it. I assume it'll be a strength base.
Yes.
Base.
If you need me to start moving stuff, I can push towards the. And I can help.
I'll help move stuff as well.
Alright. So, strength check at advantage, please.
Which one was making the check?
Did you want Judd or I to make that check?
Either one of you would feel comfortable. I would advise whoever's stronger.
I can make it, would you prefer just straight strength or athletic?
You can do athletics. It is a very athletic effect. Let's see, how long will this take? That's too long. So this takes you about 10 minutes. Dovin, shape water a cantrip?
Yeah, it's a
Okay,
cantrip.
cool. So I imagine that Dovin is standing there, constantly shaping water to pull the moisture out of there, as Volan and Dread take 10 minutes removing the mud and the silt and getting it so that the water is just kind of like pouring down those steps, but no longer, causing mud and silt to build up there. Letting the door come open. It opens inward, and it's no longer blocked off by the mud. You see water flowing down in a small river, heading towards the north.
You're cutting out. We can't hear you.
All right. You see water heading in a small river, heading towards the north. A faint, melodious sound comes from ahead. It is difficult to tell whether someone is singing or it is just the echoing of dripping water in a great cave.
That sounds super ominous to hear from the GM.
Onwards?
Music cave
Onwards.
sounds great.
Yeah.
I do see this fella.
Lobu's going to try and play along with his concertina.
Okay. As you do, you hear a squeal and a splash coming from that direction. It sounds like you disturbed somebody.
Oh, I scared someone in the music cave away. Oof.
It's a good try, though. I thought it was clever.
The room beyond is lit by a soft light that reveals a section of rocky beach. Beyond the beach is a pool of glowing water filling half the room and framed by a crystal cavern. Green fronds can be seen in the pool. Light seems to flow from everywhere. The pool, the walls glisten like soft moonlight. On the far side of the pool is a set of doors carved with a sun symbol. That would be this one over here.
That seems familiar.
The woman in the pool just surfaces with a silvery laugh. You startled me.
Sorry to spook you. I was just trying to jam out. Were you singing just now?
She nods and starts mumbling something. It sounds like the same language as the other two. And then, again, in common, although it's rather accented, she says, "So, what brings you here?" She grins at Lebu.
Mostly we fell, but also treasure.
Treasure. Well, I imagine there's still some treasure left to be found in this old place. But I've made this my home. So, I would suggest, finding another place to search for treasure, if you don't mind.
Do I know what kind of creature this is?
Let's see. Hold on a second. I'm double checking on what exactly this is. I mean, imagine that since you're water based, you'd probably know what this is without needing an extra roll. But let me double check. Oh, actually, no, you wouldn't necessarily know what this is right away. Roll an Arcana check.
Can I help him with that?
Yes.
Nice.
Thank you for the help.
Well, you've never seen one before. Given its watery nature and its appearance, you make a great guess that it is a nereid, a fey creature, known to be chaotic, and your family is, your people have talked about such beings before. They're usually considered playful, and you know that they can become invisible in water.
Oh my gosh. You're a near it, aren't you?
She smiles.
This is such an honor.
And you are one of the sea elves, aren't you?
I am, but a lowly common sea elf. But we've still heard stories about you. We're not that uneducated.
Lonely and common, he says. Aww. She kind of rests her arms at the side of the pool and smiles winningly at you.
I was wondering if maybe you could give us a little more guidance on navigating this space.
Do you have any treasure of your own to ply me with?
Oh, I've got some of the best stuff. I'm not sure if it's totally treasure, but let me get something out. And he just starts digging through his obvious crap, and pulls out specifically he kind of pulls out the little monocle, and he's like, oh no, this is no good. He looks at the cube with different painted sides. He thinks about handing over the soggy sea elf card, and then hands over or shows her the small locked box that hums a strange melody. This thing's kind of cool.
Ooh, what is that? She comes up a bit. Her flowing, silky mantle, it's kind of flowing around her. It sounds lovely.
Gulp. Thank you. Would you like it?
I think I would. And would you like to come into this pool with me?
Don't do it.
I mean, she seems fine, right?
Why does he need to go into the pool?
She kind of looks over at the half orc, then glances at Topaz. Oh, there's another one of you. Well, it's not like the pool would hurt him. He's used to the water now, aren't you, pretty one? She looks back at Lubu.
Does any of this seem nefarious?
Roll insight. Oh yeah, there is something behind those eyes and that smile of hers.
I'm
gonna stick my finger in this river. Oh, sorry.
It just feels like nice, cool water. She kind of glances over towards Noxie for a moment, then back at Dvolan. I mean, it's not Dvolan.
What's the difference between these doors and these doors?
That these doors, she gestures towards the ones behind her, are
I'm not asking her that, I'm looking at them.
Oh, you're looking at them? I'm sorry. Sorry. Let's see, is there a difference between the two? In terms of, well, there's the set of doors over here have a sun symbol on them. The doors to the, what is it, east? No, west. Usually lists this on here if there's anything different about them. From the look of things, the doors to the west have nothing interesting about them.
I'm confused. These aren't north and south?
No, north is, this way. You're heading north. So, that would be east, and that's west. It's one of these stupid maps that decides for some reason to not orient north and south like most other
What's
maps.
on the west ones then?
There doesn't appear to be any decorations whatsoever on them. But there are sun symbols on the eastern ones.
You won't mind telling us where these doors go?
She thinks for a moment, and still holds her hand out towards Lobu. You said you were giving me that box.
Lobu? Would you mind coming over here for a second, closer to...
Dolan, this is the first time I've had a crush on anything, and I think that you should probably just wingman for me here for a second.
I'm gonna grab him by the arm and kind of pull him, like, seriously. I'm going to tell you right now, you should back up.
Do you contest this pull?
Are you? Oh no! If she's moving me, I'm not. I'm gonna go with it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna physically move him kind of behind me.
Alright. The Nereid frowns and seems to be glaring daggers at Volan.
I'm going to ask you
Dolan.
again. Why do you want us to go into the water?
Oh, not you. I just want him.
For what purpose?
She kind of like lifts a brow. Wow, you don't know?
What
She probably
do we
wants to
know
play
about?
music with me.
What do we know about them?
About Nereids in general, or...
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Yeah, you may roll an Arcana check with advantage.
What? Say again.
Arcana check with advantage.
You can't. I don't hear what kind of check you're saying. Just Arcana.
Yeah. Yeah, you know that this is a fey creature. You know that your stories have told your people have told stories about them over time, that they're, you know, chaotic and playful in general. You know that much like Dovin and his cantrips, they can shape water at will.
Do they make a habit of luring males into the waters for nefarious purposes?
No, usually chaotic purposes. You know, if let's say like a person that isn't normally water inclined the way that, you know, Lobu is, the typical Nereid would probably, like, you know, lure him into the water, and someone would go and steal his clothes and hide them somewhere. That sort of playfulness. But with, you know, a sea elf like Lobu, it's like, you know, there's no real harm in him being in the water after all.
Quick question: what is she wearing?
You see some kind of mantle of silky cloth, the color of sea foam, around her.
So does it look like she can conceal anything on her person?
She doesn't appear to be, no.
How many of you are there? Are here?
Oh, just me of my kind.
Did Lobu give her the trinket, or do you still have it?
I think he probably handed it to her. It's I'm not sure if she took it or not.
She would have taken it at that point. She kind of smiles at it and, you know, dunks it under the water, putting it somewhere.
Do
She
I
kind of-
believe her when she says she's by herself?
Insight.
And what does that appear to be? Something under the water, stairs or something? Just dotted line.
It's some kind of ledge under there from the looks of things.
Did she put the trinket in the water?
Yep, she put the trinket down into the water. Let's see, she was gesturing down south, and... Sorry, not down south, down west. Sorry, I keep doing that myself. And she says, well, that way is the tomb of Hurakan. the god of the flood. It's very wet down there, and she looks at Topaz and looks at Lubu. You two would very much enjoy it. I don't know about your companions.
Or if we sleep, I can get us all down there.
And these other doors?
I said, that one's mine. You may not pass through it.
Oh, well, now you make me want to all the more.
She kind of gives Topaz a smile. My, are you trying to take over my little grove here?
No, we're trying to get out.
Well,
I'm going to peer into the water. What can I see?
roll a perception check.
Perception?
Yes.
Okay.
It's weird. It's, mostly just a very pretty lit pool. And it doesn't look like there's anything at first. Like, there's just, a nice bottom to it, some greenish rocks. At least that's what it looks like at first, from up above, with all the waves tinkling through it. But as you're looking closer, you get the impression that there's something big down there, hidden, that basically, when it's at rest, it merely looks like a bunch of rocks, and it is the source of that glow.
Oh. Gotta find a way to relay this to the party without alerting.
You speak in signs, and is she faced towards Bolin at this point?
She's faced towards you, Lubu, at this point. But she occasionally glances over at Topaz.
Okay, so she's gonna have a sign that says "big thing," and it's arrow pointed down to the water, and she's just gonna be kind of waving it.
I'm standing by the water. I'll look in there. What am I seeing?
Roll a perception check.
Does she get advantage because I'm helping?
Yes, and because she's used to looking through water. Alright. Roll a nature check for me too as well, please, Topaz. Oh!
Damn.
The moment you look down into the water and resolve what you're seeing in your, just seeing through the bits of distortion, you immediately recognize a giant lightning eel when you see one.
Oh, nice eel you have down there. Is it trained?
The Nereid just kind of glares at you and folds her arms. Yes, that is my friend, Jack.
Can you say that again?
And you wanted to bring Lobu down there with your giant eel friend Check.
Probably for food. I'm gonna call down to the eel with friend of the sea and say, "Hello, friend eel. Does this one feed you enough? Let you out enough?"
Giant eel just kind of opens one eye and blinks up at Topaz. Doesn't seem to be like it's used to other people talking to it. It starts to surface its eyes, and the flashing lights around its body, it's kind of lighting up the entire room even more. Now all of you see that there's a giant eel in there.
Were you gonna feed me to that thing?
I think she was.
The Nereid shakes her head. I was not! And she looks very indignant.
What? No!
She doesn't eat
I would never.
seals.
Bullshit.
No, I think she's telling the truth.
Do I think she's telling the truth?
Roll a new insight, since this is about something else. You think that she probably had some other plans for Lobu, but it wouldn't put it past her that this thing may or may not eat sea elves. It's just that it's not the first thing on her mind for what she had planned for Lobu.
You are a magnificent beast. It seems as if your mistress here was willing to just trade for trinkets, made no mention of you. I'm certain between all of us we could come up with a great deal of food for you, more than she could give you on any given day. If you simply let us pass and go through that door behind you.
The Nereid looks again, looking indignant. She says, "Hey, Jack, no, don't let them pass." The eel seems to be looking at her, looking at you, Topaz. How would you like to attempt to persuade this thing?
Well, let's see. I think going to be pulling out some rations. I think we can splurge. Say 3 days worth. How's this for a start?
The eel comes closer. Roll, let's see. Animal handling with advantage.
Okay.
Ooh. The eel is instantly lapping it out of ducking its head out of the water and taking whatever you're offering. Well, the Nereid seems to be shrieking at it in another language.
She's speaking in Aquan?
Nope, it's not even Aquan. It's whatever language
Okay.
that the crayfish and the hermit crab are speaking.
Okay. Oh, it looks like that's a very nice eel you have. He looks quite friendly. So what is it you were saying about that door? We really do need to go through to get out. I'm afraid we'll have to insist.
She folds her
Anyone else
arms-
have rations for the eel?
Oh,
arms
plenty.
again and dives down into the water where you can't see her. She looks like she's not wanting to deal with you guys anymore. The eel is happily eating from your hand.
Pet him. Aren't you pretty?
Noxie just looks down at her rock hard bread rations and slips them back in her bag.
Topaz, if you don't already have it, you get inspiration.
Oh, cool. I look back at everybody. If we're going to go through there, we probably want to do it soon. There's no telling what she's up to.
But she's such a beautiful creature. I wish we could take her
I'm
with
gonna
us.
slap you. I swear to God.
Oh,
Well, keep a hold of him.
absolutely.
No. I'm not getting in the water with that thing. But it is quite a fantastic creature.
Now, this is like some kind of ledge, right? The dotted line you said so?
Yeah, it's like the like the rest of the part is like fairly deep. The deepest was probably about here. This would be the shallowest part of the place. So it's kind of a ledge. It's probably about 2 feet deep, around there.
How much feet?
2 feet.
2 feet, okay. I thought you said 50, and I was like, oh, okay.
I'll help Noxie.
Yeah, the rest of the pool is 12 feet. It's 12 feet deep. The ledge is only 2 feet deep.
I don't need... Noxie would refuse help here. 2 feet's not that bad, it's just kind of up to her chest.
The eel is watching you guys, kind of like swimming around the pool, ducking down into the water so they can breathe. Yeah, you see the doors. They have keyholes, but just glancing at them, you can tell that it's unlocked because it's not entirely closed. It's like there's a tiny little gap that's letting water through, so you know it's unlocked.
I'll try to push this door open. Or pull it, whatever one it is needed.
Yeah. With some help here, from Lobu most likely, you manage to push that open, and water comes spilling down there. into the
I'm
next
going
hallway.
in. I'm swimming alongside the eel. I'll keep giving him some food. I'm looking to see what she's doing down there.
You can't see her anymore. She's completely invisible in the
Okay.
water.
I'll as we go through the door, I'll call out to Aquin. Bye now.
The eel seems to be a bit sad that you're leaving already. But it does
Sorry,
sound
we have to
beautiful.
go. Maybe we'll try to come back and visit sometime. Tell your mistress that you should be fed better.
God, I'm gonna miss her.
No, but she was trying to kill you.
I'm gonna miss the eel.
You gonna do a perception check on this area?
Sure.
Yeah, I was just about to ask, so I'll help him with it. Well,
Ugh.
Yeah, the water is completely thinned out at this point, letting you guys see more high and dry as you approach the staircase. You can see another set of doors with keyholes in them.
well, we didn't see anything, so I'm just gonna walk up. Any markings on the door?
None that you can see. At this point, I would like all of you to roll a Constitution saving throw.
A what?
Constitution saving throw.
Constitution.
Is this against a trap?
This is against poison.
Oops.
Oh, nice. So mine's actually the 22.
Okay.
Oops. Oop.
Topaz, Noxie, Dread, you're just all like, coughing. It's like there's no apparent reason for it, but you just feel like some prickles in your lungs. 1d6.
What is that?
What is what?
Take 3 points of damage.
Now, would this be
It's like
considered?
At this point, you feel like you've been breathing this in all along. Maybe from the from the cave-in. Maybe it's just the dust getting to you. Something, but it's
Feels like a
just
tickle in my
air
throat.
somewhere.
Look over at Noxie. You too.
She nods. She also pulls out a card that she wrote on earlier, and she shows that eel looked really delicious.
Can I do a medicine check on one of the people that's coughing?
Sure. Yeah. You check that, you look at the air, you sniff the air, and you hadn't really noticed this before because, again, this is a, a musty old place, and, you were still kind of dazed from your trip down here. But now that you kind of smell the air better, you get the distinct impression this entire structure is filled with some kind of gas that's toxic.
Oh. We can't stay down here too long. This air is not good. There must be something rotten or toxic or poisonous in the... Eee. Maybe we shouldn't stay down here longer than we want to. Longer than we should. I can't talk tonight. We shouldn't stay down here longer than we have to.
Put a push open this door.
Alright. It is definitely unlocked. And you see before you, this hallway is 20 feet wide and has piles of rubble and debris scattered across its length. The walls are covered with frescoes. The south wall displays scenes of a battle between natives and invaders. The north wall depicts people questing for a new land. Their experiences during the journey, including crossing treacherous mountains, sailing over storm-tossed seas, and receiving the guidance of the gods in their battles to keep their homeland free from invasions. In the center of the wall is a painting of a pyramid with a temple atop it and the sun shining down over the land. Double bronze doors stand in the eastern end of the south wall. Down the hall to the west is an archway carved in the form of twinning serpents. Beyond it, the corridor continues on into shadow.
Well, this is this their history? Dovin is just like over the moon, looking at these murals.
Once a librarian, always a librarian.
Yeah, he's gonna start like jotting down like notes, and probably will require somebody to like pull him along to keep peace.
Is the coughing going away?
It seems to have subsided for now.
I don't like the sound of that. Ow. And these are murals of some people that aren't human, and they're not elf?
They do appear to be human.
They do appear to be. Okay.
Yes.
Land-dwelling human.
Yeah, you've never seen humans dwelling under the sea.
Oh.
Whoop, hold on a
Well-
second, Noxie.
Oh, okay.
Well, this sucks.
Hold on. You just stepped on something.
Oh, great.
Okay. So, as Noxie stepped down on there, a set of horizontal bars suddenly slam into place over this entire area down here. Oops, hold on. Yeah. Cutting off Noxie and Topaz from the rest of you.
Guys. Oh, is it like completely solid? We
Yep.
can't even see through it.
Yep. It's
Okay.
a set of horizontal bars that like clung tightly in there. You can still kind of make out sounds of Noxie and Topaz, but Noxie was the one that stepped on it.
The bars came down.
Mm-hmm. Horizontal bars. You can sort of make out Noxie and Topaz, but not too much.
What do you think the odds are we could break this down?
I was just wondering if between the two of us, if we could lift them.
Did they lift? Like a portcullis?
Yeah. It would be like a portcullis, yes.
Alright, Dread, did you want to try together?
Can we hear them?
Yeah, you can sort of make them out, but it's kind of faint.
If I can hear them saying they're going to lift it, I'll get ready to help lift it too.
Alright.
So will Noxie with her 9 strength.
Give me strength check at advantage.
Strength or will athletics work?
Athletics will work, yes.
One person or everybody?
One person, because that's how they get the advantage.
Volan.
Volan takes hold of this and just goes, but it doesn't. It seems to be fairly solidly in there.
Does it seem even remotely possible to lift it up, or is just like out of our reach?
It looks like this can't be removed just by purely lifting it up. There has to be some other way of getting it open.
I'm gonna look for the area where I stepped on.
All right. Make a wisdom throw.
Wisdom check?
Wisdom check. That's what I meant to say. Sorry. Yeah, you don't know anything else about it more than just you stepped on it. Now you have now you have a problem.
Lobu would like to search this hall a bit, looking for levers or switches or something.
make
Yeah, I'll help
a either perception or investigation. Ah, okay. Okay. So let me figure out what the order of this should be. So, Lebu, you start going up and down the wall, kind of touching things, poking at things, and as you come to this wall over here, where you see the pyramid and the big sun, you end up pressing on the big sun, and a passageway pops open. And then, as you probably excitingly, tell everybody else about this, you come over here. Sorry, come over here. Looking at the rubble, poke some of it aside, and discover that there is, in fact, a small lever down here.
Guys, should I pull this? Should I pull this lever?
Yes, we need this.
All right. And Lobu pulls it.
And the portcullis lifts back up.
Hmm.
I am so glad. I thought that was going to smash you guys. I thought there was a possibility anyway.
Thanks.
Oh, so that was you found that switch on a picture of the sun.
Yeah. It's all about the sun. I think we're on a good path here.
As long as we don't get lost or trapped.
I'm gonna poke at Topaz.
Ah, good job.
Did you find something down there?
Noxie shakes her head.
Okay.
Noxie, do you want to come check for traps? I feel like we maybe are in trap kind.
Noxie will do that. That'll be investigation.
Yes.
I'm actually gonna do enhance ability to give. Well, she doesn't need it, but for any future intelligence rolls, you have advantage.
All right.
I mean, I'll just roll advantage. Yeah, I'll take the 23.
All right. So, from this perspective, looking in this direction, you don't see much of anything of interest. You just see the floor of the area beyond is 8 feet lower than the floor of the current corridor, so it's kind of a bit of a jump down. Mostly for Noxie, given her height. But I mean, most of you could probably easily find a way of scrambling back up, either by jumping and catching hold of the lip, or just grabbing up and lifting yourselves, depending on your height.
Well, I'm for it, guys. And then Lobu's going to start making moves to scramble down in.
Noxie's just gonna drop down.
Lead the way.
Lobu's going to look around this hallway.
What do you see down the hallway is you see what looks like various statuary and masks. This corridor is high-ceilinged and decorated with sculptures mounted on the walls. 2 corridors branch off from the main hall, a narrow one to the east and another one to the west. The statuary that adorns the walls consists of 4 sculpted heads of animals. Each one is 6 feet above the floor and 2 to 3 feet in diameter. Opposite the passageway that leads east is the stylized head of a coyote, and across from the hallway going west is the head of a grinning bear. Near the south end of the corridor, the head of a bison is mounted on the eastern wall, which is what you're closest to. At the north end of the area, on the west wall, is what appears to be the head of an eagle with its beak open. Something shines from within the eagle's mouth. That would be the one all the way over here.
Those traps.
Careful.
But guys, shiny.
Where's the eagle again?
The eagle, it's this one all the way over here.
We need to be very, very, very careful. Let me, if we have to touch it, let Noxie look first, and then maybe let me detect magic.
Or we could touch it and deal with the consequences later.
I love that.
Watch out for floor plates.
Okay.
I'm looking for like any traps on the way here.
Okay. Yeah, your investigation check, you should be able to see anything.
I'm going to look into this eagle's mouth.
Alright. So, you do see that there's a golden bracelet inside its mouth. However, given your investigation check, you quickly ascertain that if you remove the bracelet, the beak will immediately snap shut, and it might, catch your hand in the process.
Well, could I fast hands it? Like, is it just like automatic, or could I be fast enough?
You might be fast enough. You will need to roll high enough for that. Dexterity, let's do sleight of hand if you want. But if you mess up on the attempt, it's likely that your hand will get pinned by the beak.
Okay.
Could we? Does anybody have like a rock or something that we can just jam in there?
Well, I actually have an idea. I didn't want to use this just yet, but and then Lobu will cast Unseen Servant.
Ooh, nice one.
And he'll be like, "Okay, Invisibuddy, grab that bracelet out there for me."
Invisibuddy.
Alright. So, right in front of your eyes, Noxie, you see the bracelet being pulled out from the beak, and immediately the beak snaps shut. Flang! That would have, done some serious damage had it caught your hand.
All right, first treasure. Come give it back to me.
Alright, so the Unseen Servant brings you a golden bracelet of some kind.
Cool. I'm gonna inspect it.
Seems pretty nice. It just looks interesting. It's, let's see. It is definitely gold.
Are these suits of armor? Statues.
Let's take a look. As you look down that hallway, along both sides of the corridor, deep in shadow, human figures appear to be floating above the floor. As you approach, you see that the figures, seemingly suspended in the air, are actually withered corpses standing upright on ledges 2 feet above the floor.
People? That's not good.
What do you think the odds are that they're going to come to life and attack us?
100%.
I'm going to use Divine Sense to see if they're actually undead.
Your Divine Sense detects nothing.
Oh, okay. They're not undead.
They're not?
It could just be some burial ritual of some sort. If we don't mind waiting 10 minutes, I can cast Detect Magic.
I've got another way. I'm gonna leap up and punch that one in the crotch.
Oh,
right
don't.
here.
Alright, let me see what happens with that. That's a fun way of doing that. Alright, that does nothing. Nothing happens. The corpse just kind of continues to float there in midair.
All right. That. So unless it's something that's on the floor or some magical invisible wall we walk through that sets them off, Noxie, probably okay.
At this point, Noxie will have to make a new roll.
All right.
Have advantage.
Yeah, you can't pick up anything at this point.
Do we want me to cast Detect Magic?
Probably.
As these two make their way in the middle of the corridor,
It only works if you had waited for me.
there is a sudden flash of light in this corridor. And all of a sudden, hey, Dread, how long does that sense of divine last? Is it instantaneous or does it last 10 minutes? Okay. They can use that feature.
Until the end of your next turn.
Okay, so yeah, it lasts 6 seconds. So yeah, it's already gone. But there is a definite flash of magic all around for a moment, and suddenly all of the corpses come to life and float down.
Damn it!
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You could have waited for me to cast Detect Magic.
Jesus Christ!
There are 15 of them.
Damn it! Why did it have to be so predictable, Noxie? I told you to find the fucking.
Why'd you have to walk forwards?
Well,
I'm
technically
sorry.
speaking, Noxie did find the trap.
Just like right before going to initiative, Nox just holds up the sign. I'm sorry.
Yes, we did know.
Alright, so I'm going to put these guys into groups because I do not want to roll separate initiative for each and every single one of them. So
No, blame me.
I am going to put them into groups of 3 to make it easier on all of us. And I'm going to put a little symbol on each of them to indicate, like that one's 1. And this is 2 and 3.
So did that seem to happen when Dread moved up, or did it? Had it?
When Noxie got to
Noxie
the
stuff.
middle of the corridor, yeah.
Okay.
And then this one will be zombie blue. We'll finish on that one.
Oh well, here we go. Sparring practice. I've
Really
had
glad.
worse.
Really beforehand.
Hold on one second. Yeah.
I've had worse.
Back. I'll be back to the front in a moment. I just need to be able to see these zombies in order to put to label them all. This one is orange one.
My master almost took my eye out in a practice session. How bad can this be?
Pretty bad.
Yeah, shut up. I didn't want to need an answer. It was hypothetical.
Your banter is always amusing. Okay.
Hey, I don't suppose the one I punched in the crotch is down any hit point.
That's totally gonna.
Which
ask
one of these
that.
did you punch in the crotch again?
The one right there.
All right. I will definitely be taking some hit points off that one.
Take every little bit we can get.
Yes, me too. It's a ton of enemies here. All right, all of you roll.
Am I in the same squares one? Oh crap! What happens there? We end up squeezing in the same, or I get pushed. You got several people in the same squares as they are.
I think everybody gets pushed, but so do they. So it's like, okay, Sonic Noxie, your zombie practically landed on you, and you're surrounded.
So is one sharing my space?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, all right. I could try to attack that one.
Okay.
Get out if you can.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. I'm gonna bonus action disengage. Could I possibly squeeze it out of this situation?
Yes, you've got. That's what rogues are good at. They can run away.
Okay. All right. Um, I'm gonna go right here,
Okay, you're standing in
and I'm
front of
gonna.
the closed beak of the bird there.
I'm going to shoot just this one.
Okay.
Wow.
Your crossbow jams, and you hear a twing as the firing mechanism seems to pop loose.
Super. All right. I guess it's my turn.
Dread.
Okay, I'll swing at that one.
All right, you're at disadvantage because I think because you're currently being squeezed by another one that nearly landed on you.
Oh, I'll attack the one that's in my square.
Okay.
Let's see.
Alright. Radiant and slashing. Hold on, do these things take extra radiant or is it just... Let's see. No. Well, 2 attacks and that thing's dead. You're now standing on a body of one of these things.
Okay.
Lubu.
Lobu's going to move up past Noxie and cast Heroism at 2nd level for, so that allows me to target both Dread and Topaz. So we both have the effects of Heroism.
Nice.
What does heroism do?
How many
Oh, it's a range
hit
of 30.
points?
Cool.
How many hit points? Temporary.
So that will be 6.
6. Awesome.
Nice. Anything else you can do, Lubu?
I think that's all they'll do this.
Alright. Duvin.
I'm going to cast Angle back here so that
You're
it
gonna
won't
cast
hit Dread.
Tangle? Okay.
Does that go around corners?
It fills up a 20-foot square, so I'm thinking it does.
Is it even possible for you to put that far enough away to not get Dread? That's going to be 20 feet.
Well, if I put it, I can see all the way back here. So, I mean, if
That's
need
why
be,
I
I can...
asked if it goes around corners. Because if you center back here somewhere, then it's 20 feet across. I don't know.
Then
It might be.
You can move the plant with the arrow. That's how far away the entangle will spread.
Okay.
It's a 20-foot square? No,
So
it's a 20-foot square, not a 20-foot radius.
I'm just saying, so it would be
that would be a 10-foot square then.
10 feet down from there, and it would be
Like that.
like here.
So I want to put it like
Square.
here. Wait, whoa.
That would
That'll
that would
get
still be
Dread.
on Dread.
This is good, right?
Should be.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So DC 15.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
It's a great way to do entangle. Is that a plant token with an aura?
Yeah.
Pretty cool. I have to remember that.
Okay, so let's see, that one's the back. That's entangled. What shall I use for entangled? Google to web. What did you say the DC was again?
15. So only one of them passed.
Cool, cool. 3. That's that one here. Cool. I can just put webs up on the rest of them. Why did it have to be 15 zombies? Well. Okay. Anything else you can do, Devin?
Do I need to stay within sight of the entangle, or could I back up and keep the entangle?
Is it concentration?
I don't think you do for concentration. I don't think you.
Is entangled
it's
concentration? Hold on.
It is.
Yeah. So let's put in a concentration marker on you. There you go. Yeah, you can back up. I don't think you need to keep line of sight. You just need to have line of sight when you cast it.
Makes sense.
Zombie. Blue zombies get to move. This one is trapped by its... They're all trapped by their companions, but these two will attempt to wiggle free.
Don't they go last or something, or am I thinking of a different system?
That must be a different.
Wow. Zombies are always. Is it 16 higher than my 16? I got a dex of 20.
Put tiebreaker in there, and we'll do that. If you go into your character sheet and set to put tiebreaker on dex, that should help.
Yeah, did.
Yeah. Well, none of them can move anyway. The two failed wriggling free of the entangled, and the other one doesn't have anywhere to go. It's kind of blocked up by the other two. So it's now your turn, Topaz. There's currently a zombie occupying the space with you.
Yeah. Spend a key point for step of the wind, disengage, and get out of that square. Shit. This is as far as I'm going to be able to go. Still do anything. All right, and then for my action, I'll try to beat some zombies out of Dread's way. I'm going to go for this guy.
Okay.
Right above. I don't remember if they take anything from piercing. Probably missed anyway.
Nope. No, they've got really low AC. So you swing.
Oh, that hit?
Yep. You swing your spear around and stab into it.
Did it seem to do full damage?
Yes, it did.
And then I'm going to Flurry of Blow. Another key point. This one's also with that guy.
Okay.
And I want him to make the deck save or be knocked prone.
Okay, let's do that. It actually saved.
Wow. Dextra zombie. And -2.
Yep.
Yeah,
is he
0?
Is he still functioning?
Yeah, it's still up and functioning.
Well then, okay, he gets the second of those as well.
And by the way, you do get flanking.
Oh, I do.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, you did. It's now you basically come in with your second flurry of blows and just kind of knock the head right off the body, sending it sprawling elsewhere.
All right, now it's prone.
Yep.
Trying to give Dread some room. And I guess I'll stay there. I'll try to block this hallway.
Alright. Volan.
I am going to do some barbarian shit, and I would like to rage.
Rage.
And then I'm going to come in twice with my great axe on this zombie that's right next to Toby.
Okay. Alright.
It's not an advantage. I don't know why I put that there.
Oh, I forgot I had 2 attacks.
Even
We're at extra
without-
attack now.
Even without that is dead.
Oh,
Can I take my extra attack?
Sure.
Got that. Yeah. So that'll be on the other one right next to that one.
Okay.
That's it.
Alright. Volan, anything
Or-
else?
Gotta remember that now. Get 5th level.
No, I'm going to stay here and block the hallway.
Got it. Zombie is entangled. Let's see. Entangled can't attack. Isn't that right?
They have to make a check,
Let me look it up real quick.
but that's their action. They're restrained. So if something was right next to them, they could still attack. They're just at disadvantage.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Disadvantage, so that one's going to attempt to feebly claw at at Dread.
Disadvantage on attacks.
That's a.
Speed is 0. It can use its action to try and break free.
So that first one attempts to attack you. Second green attempts to attack you as well, Dread.
Does an arm fall off? What happens there?
And then the third green one also attempts to attack you. And I think those all missed.
Yeah, they all miss.
Okay, that one purple's dead. Second purple goes for Volan. 22.
Yep.
Third purple goes for Lobu. I think that's a miss.
It's a miss.
Let's see, that orange is dead. Second orange goes for Dread.
Yeah.
Miss. And all the reds are just struggling against their bonds. 1, 2. Oh, I think that one broke free.
It does. Breaks free on a 15.
Oops. And but it has nowhere to go. Third one. Going nowhere. Noxie!
Just gonna shoot. Well, yeah, the one right by Volan.
Your crossbow is currently broken.
Oh, that's right.
You can spend an action trying to fix it, or you can change weapons and do something else.
I can. I'm going to switch to my daggers, and I'm going to move up, past Topaz and Volan.
This zombie here gets an attack of opportunity on you.
That's fine.
And that's a miss. Alright. Which target are you taking out?
The one right by me here.
Okay. You get a sneak attack because it's busy distracted with Dread. And that's enough to take it down.
And then I'd like to bonus action. Wait, no, I killed it. I can't use my offhand. So then I will just bonus action dodge.
Alright. Dread.
Alright, bonus action, I'll cast Branding Smite, and I'll swing at this one.
Okay. I think you get advantage on it because it's restrained.
Correct.
Alright. Wow. One hit and that thing's cleaved in two. Where do you want the second attack to go?
Explodes.
Alright, I'll swing at this one.
Okay, so that attack went against that one. All right, 8 points of damage.
That was all part of the same attack.
All right. Oh, that was all part of the same attack. All right. Well, the other one died in one hit, so.
Well, I don't think it's. Is it rolling the radiant damage on each attack?
Yes, that's because I'm using the smite at the same time.
Okay. Nice.
Well, the smite wouldn't have activated because that one had already been destroyed. All right. Wow, that one's also
Holy
cleaved
cow.
in two.
Jeez.
There's little shreds of a zombie just now littering in the corridor.
That's all I can do.
Okay. Libu, what would you like to do?
Lobu was thinking about just like taking the dodge action to make sure he kept concentrating on the spell. But after watching that, I don't think he thinks anybody needs his heroism spell at the moment. So he's gonna attack and then attack with his bonus action.
All right,
The zombie right in front of him.
got it. That's 9 points of damage. It is still standing, but there are chunks of rotting flesh now on the floor in front of you.
Hmm.
And that's it.
All right, Dovin.
I'll go ahead and use frostbite on the one that Lobu.
Okay. Let's see, Constitution. Huh.
Wow. All right.
The frost just seems to not take effect at all on that zombie.
Okay. I'm just gonna chill here.
Okay. Let's see, blue zombie. Blue zombie can't move past the entangled ones. That zombie there, strength check. Ooh, that zombie becomes untangled. Ah. 1 second. And the final zombie there.
Wow.
Wow, that one's also untangled. Topaz!
All right. Slam into this one here.
Okay.
Still standing, I assume.
Yes, you stick your spear right through it and pull it out again, and remove some sort of organ.
Jab him again.
But as you jab it again, this time the spear goes through its head, and you take the head clean off.
Step in here and do the martial arts attack on that last one.
Alright. You turn around and smash its skull in with your attack, leaving Lubu all alone. Anything else you wish to do?
I guess I'll look over at Dovin. How long is that last? What do we do now?
Take them all out. You can go into the grass and we'll trap you.
Alrighty then.
We can also just stand back and throw things at him.
Yeah, I'm not really all that good at that. Alright. Well. We could just sit here and watch the paladin kill everything. I don't think that's going to... Yeah, I'll stay where I am.
Oops. Volin.
I'll move 5, 10, 15 up to this zombie, and I'm going to take 2 strikes with the great.
Yeah, that one's dead. Leaving only the entangled.
Alright, dope. I'll stay here and block the hallway.
Okay.
Now, I guess the question is, are they going to get back up?
zombie, strength check. Miss. This zombie pushes past these ones and goes right for Volan. Third zombie in that group. Strength check. Still stuck. Noxie!
I'm just gonna spend my action trying to fix my crossbow now.
Okay, roll a... Let's see, which one I want to do. Do you have any tool proficiencies?
Only with thieves' tools and disguise.
Okay. Let's just go with a general dexterity check.
Dexterity? Okay.
See if your fingers are nimble enough to rethread it. Yeah, it takes you the rest of your turn to fix that spring or whatever it was that broke on your crossbow. You think now you can just reload it and try again for the next turn?
Would this count as my fast hands? Like, will my fast hands apply here?
Oh! Actually, yes.
Cool. Okay.
That's a nice
I
skill
mean,
to have.
okay, I'm just checking, but I don't think I can do anything with.
Yeah. You load up your crossbow and get ready for the next turn.
Yeah, I don't want to go into this spot here and then get completely ruined by this. So
Sounds
yeah,
good.
I'll end my turn.
Dread. Oh, whoops. Dread seems to be offline.
We lost him. He's still in roll 20.
Meanwhile, looking at these ones we put down, are they staying down?
Yeah, they're staying down. Their body parts are spread all over the place.
Okay. They're not that kind of zombie. Because if that many zombies, that would have proved to have been a really ridiculously hard fight.
Mm-hmm.
I've been in those fights before. The zombies just keep getting back up, keep getting back. Oh my god! You stand there beating them forever.
Makes me think of Revenants.
I think he's left roll 20.
Yep, yeah, that's what I figured. I'll give him a minute. He might just needed to reboot something or restart something.
I do have to go soon.
Yeah. Then I will find Dread Sheet to hopefully finish this fight. Oops, it's companions. Dread. There we go. Let's see. Dread is currently swinging a longsword around. Oops. Normal advantage. Let's see. How many... Oh, the Dread's using Divine Smite at the moment, right?
Pretty sure.
Okay.
Well, smites cost spell slots.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then I'm not gonna... Dread's back. Cool.
Yeah.
Yay! Sorry. Since Noxie said he had to leave soon. Wasn't sure what happened, so... But, go ahead.
I'll swing at that one.
Alright.
See, I have advantage, don't I?
Not on that one. It's not restrained. But you have killed it.
Alright, so I'll step up. Swing at that one.
You seem to be doing a lot of 11s today. Anything else, Dread?
That's it.
Alright, Lubu.
Lobo will move up and he'll use Aqua Bolt on this one.
Zombie gets wet and seems to have taken away some of its flesh from that attack.
Ooh. And then just going to step back.
Devin.
I'll move there. And I guess I'll use Frostbite on the one that Lobu just.
Saving throw. Wow.
That's fine.
From the undead of all things. Anything else you can do, Devin?
Other things I could do, but not worth doing. So I'm just gonna end the turn.
The zombie comes forth, goes for dread. In fact, all three of the blues are going for dread. 1, 2, and 3. None of them hit.
Right.
Topaz.
Myself in that little spot.
Hit.
Right. That one again.
It's still up, but it is looking very badly damaged. And now you have defeated it.
That was 5, 10. Still got plenty of movement. No, I don't think I need to. Well, it's difficult terrain, right? To the entangle.
Yeah.
Is there any way past around that corner? Is that
You provoke attack of opportunity from this one.
Yeah, that's okay. I don't think I have to worry about him hitting me.
Okay. But yeah, you can get around that corner. You're just gonna get attacked by a zombie.
Yeah. Nah, stay where I am. There's no point in it. Going up there, just like we'll let them come down here and bottleneck themselves.
All right.
I don't want to get involved.
Volan.
In that case, I'll move forward into the entangled area, and I'm going to again come down twice.
Which one? All right.
The one right in front of me.
You split that one in two.
And I'm going to move another 5-10 feet in case Topaz did want to move.
Okay. Let's see, red zombie. These zombies go for an attack on you, Volan. Noxie.
I'm gonna try a bonus action, try to fix my thing again. My crossbow.
You already fixed it.
Oh, I did? Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought that 8 failed. I don't know why.
Well, it took your entire turn. It was very slow going, even with fast hands.
Okay. In that case, I will shoot this one.
Wow. That one's dead.
And I'll end my turn.
Only got 2 zombies left, guys. Dread.
Step forward. Swing at that.
Did it?
I do have to.
Did it not show your attack, Dread?
It's my sheet was funny, and I'm
Yeah, we'll be ending the session as soon as this battle's over. I mean, if you have to go right away, Noxie, that's fine. I understand.
Yeah, sorry, guys.
No worries.
there we go. I'll just try and do my attack now.
Yeah, see you guys next week.
Have a good
Take
night.
care.
You too.
What's the advantage?
Have a second attack?
Yeah. Can't see if it's still up or not.
Yeah, it's still up.
Alright. 1.
And now it's dead. Your sword just kind of has been cleaving a bunch of these things in two, but from your heavy hits.
I know, it's really quite messy. And considering I kill things with a spear and like kicking, it's pretty clean kills. They go down, they're not all over the place. You guys hit them, they just explode. They splatter all over the walls. That entire corner up here.
On the plus side,
Slaughterhouse.
because they've been long dead, their blood's all congealed.
Yeah, but that's worse. It's all like rotted and decomposed and black.
And lumpy. Yeah,
It
lumpy.
just goes all over the place. Ew. I mean, the stink has got to be ungodly.
I think your noses are kind of dead at this point.
Yeah.
You can't smell anymore. Labu!
Move there and double swing.
And you have advantage.
Oh my god.
That's brutal.
Yeah. Your fin scimitar just kind of flips out of your hand and clatters to the ground.
Like look at it, look back at the entangled zombie, and then hesitantly swipe again with the other.
Dovin.
And that's it.
Alright, third time's the charm.
And third time was a charm.
Woo! Finally, my cantrip accidentally landed.
The entangled zombie suddenly gets covered in ice.
And I'm actually... Well, no, I'll leave it up.
Topaz.
Zoom, zoom, zoom. Look across the zombie at Lobu with his scimitar laying on the... It's like, what are you doing?
Just doing my best.
Stab it through the throat. Is it still up?
Nope. You stab it right through the back of the throat. The lovely spear end is now almost in Lebu's eye, and you just draw it back, taking the head with it.
Like that.
Okay, now I'll drop Entangle.
How did we know that was...
That was really obvious.
Well, we probably still have a little more time on that that heroism. So if you two with the heroism want to just rush through that door, that sounds great. Let's go.
Okay.
Well, I'm not usually one to say caution is the better part of valor, but in the case where we walk into traps that separate us or drop us into pits, probably want to let our resident rogue take a look first.
And with that, we'll be ending here for this week. So see you guys again next week. And
See you next week.
this early question, are you guys going to be around the week after next? 'Cause I wasn't sure if
What's the date?
it should be the 27th.
Day before Thanksgiving.
Yep.
Oh, here.
Wednesday? Yeah.
Yeah,
Should be.
I'm just checking because I know that if I hadn't gotten the day off of work, I would have been canceling the session. But I got the day off of work, so I can get my some of my pre-Thanksgiving cooking done early, like the pies and whatnot.
I might have to get back to y'all, but